Righto, tellio there champs, and what do we have here? We have the Alienware M16 R2 gaming laptop, Wolf. Now, as the name suggests, it's a 16-inch gaming laptop with all the latest specs. We're talking about the latest Intel CPUs up to an Ultra 9 185H processor. So we're not using the old H parts or the old HX parts. This is the latest Ultra 7 or Ultra 9 CPUs from Intel with all the machine learning, all that sort of stuff, good battery life, the best that Intel has. And of course, the latest NVIDIA graphics up to an RTX 4070. Now, this is the M16. Alienware and Dell make bigger, heavier, thicker gaming laptops that, produce more power than this. But this thing is like the perfect sweet spot. Because apart from, say, the XPS 16, this is another laptop I would consider to buy for myself. Because it's not a big, thick, heavy gaming laptop that's going to deafen you and get so hot. I mean, it's 2.61 kilos, 5.7 pounds, so it's not your 7-pound monster. And in actual fact, it actually feels smaller than the XPS 16, even though it weighs a little bit more. It just feels sort of more compact. It's sort of weird. Sometimes looking at it compared to the XPS 16, it feels like I've got a 14-inch here. And that's the great thing about this laptop is, say for example, you wanted an XPS 15 to be your creator sort of gaming laptop, but you wanted something with a little bit more power. This is what you get. So where the XPS 16 sort of caps out at 130 watts, which can sort of maintain sort of 80 watts CPU and GPU together, that's because of the limitation of USB-C. This one here has a 240 watt power supply, and it can maintain sort of 130, sort of 150 watts. So we're talking about 50, 60, sort of, in boost state, 70 watts more than an XPS 16. So you get a lot more power if you actually want a game. And of course, this is more gamer focused. It has a 16-inch QHD plus 1600p 240Hz monitor, 100% sRGB, Optimus, CV+, NVIDIA G-Sync, all that good stuff. And although I don't like it in this black color, I mean, you may like it. In general, I think gaming laptops are just boring. And what I mean by that is the design of them is just boring. Most of them are just black, sort of, alien inspired, even though this is an Alienware. But what I mean by that is they're just sort of science fiction rip-off of Alienware, but not as good. And they're just boring and ugly to me. This thing here, in the white version, I will say, not in this dark version here, in the white version, I could rock instead of an XPS 16. Although I'm not going to get the 4K plus display, if I was more into mobile gaming, this is what I would choose. Because I like the design language of it. Even though it is an Alienware, it doesn't look like some sort of spaceship. It just looks nice and clean. I really like the design of this thing. The M.2 is upgradable inside, so you got one M.2 storage there. The RAM is soldered, so get what you want, up to 32 gigs here. And yeah, I would rock this with an RTX 4070, an Ultra 9 CPU and Wolf. This is going to be my portable content creation sort of / gaming laptop if I was sort of into more demanding games than what I sort of play on an XPS 16. I still probably would choose the XPS 16. I like the, the 4K plus display. And look, I'll sacrifice the power because I don't play like Cyberpunk or something like that. The games I play aren't that taxing on the system. Good keyboard, good trackpad, sounds, that's okay. It gets the job done. You're going to wear the headset there. And of course, it's got all the ports, Thunderbolt, USB-C, HDMI 2.1, Ethernet as well. So that's awesome. It doesn't have like a SD card reader. So that is one area where it's not as good as the XPS 16, sort of for a content creator. But I like this thing a lot. I like the design of it. And for me, these are the sort of laptops I like. Even though it's not as powerful as the full-on big, thick gaming laptops, I will sacrifice a bit of portability and, the battery life, right? So the battery life is better with these CPUs. I was able to get sort of that all-day sort of battery life up to that 8 hours there. A tip, put it 60 hertz. That's a tip. But yeah, that's the good thing about this. It has the latest Intel CPU, so you get the machine learning, the AI, all that sort of stuff, and you do get that better battery life over the old H parts. So yeah, I'm really liking this thing. What's the downside about it? Well, I really want the 4K option on the screen. No SD card reader, and yeah, look, it gets a little bit loud under full load, but I wouldn't put it on that full load performance load. I'll just put it on sort of like silent or just normal thermal management. I wouldn't go in there and put it on full performance because it can get up to a little bit over 50 decibels there. But what do you expect with, such high-end components in such a sort of thinnish package compared to the big bulky 7-pounders out there? So yeah, it's pretty good. It's a good laptop and I'm glad it exists. So anyway, catch you in the next one. Tally ho.